What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Midwest 2 Review here, back again, sitting out here in the shop. There's my shop cat. It's cold as a mofo out here today, guys. So I guess this is a quick video. What, cat? What, dude? Talk to him. Talk to him, buddy. That cat's 22 years old, guys. Hard to believe, isn't it? So I'm gonna show you guys a little bit more of the setup here. I'm still working on the layout. Things are still a mess. It is the way that it is. I've got my Snap-on cart over here. It is a Snap-on cart. Got my cat's food sitting on here. You know, just random drills and impact guns and just a bunch of crap in there just because that's the way it is. My Cobalt light, a couple cases there. I got more cases elsewhere. My 3/4 inch drive set, guys. So I could not put the 3/4 inch drive set in the box because it just won't fit. You guys will see why here pretty soon. I got my Snap-on roller cart there, the little seated cart. Cool thing about this one is, as you guys may recall, it opens up. So it's got drawers on the front and drawers on the back. Welding equipment over there in the corner. That's my Yes welder, MIG welder over there, and my old Century stick welder right there, and then my little shop press there, and a couple jacks and creeper. Of course, my pride and joy over there, well, for materialistic things, that is. Then I got generators and all of the kind of stuff. We're still getting moved in, so you guys know how it is. I'm just being straight up honest with you. Things are not how they should be. But anyway, so if you guys recall, I got the Ulsa Tools magnetic socket holders. I would have called them trays if I'd have been Ulsa Tools, but I guess socket holders work. I got both the metric and the SAE. It is a sponsored video. The original video was a sponsored video from Ulsa Tools, so thank you. Shout out to ulsatools.com for agreeing to send me these socket holders first, because after all, like I've been gloating and pat myself on the back, I got to partake in the design process of these things, right? So yeah, but anyway, I'm going to show you guys my drawer. Now, you guys recall I took out all of my Hansen socket trays, and it was difficult. I mean, I won't shit you guys. You know, when you get a setup you really like, it is hard. It's like almost a psychological process you go through when you decide that, okay, I'm going to change things up now. Especially when you love your setup. Like, I loved my setup. I did not really want to change it, but when these socket trays came out and they contacted me and says, hey, we finally did it, I'm like, well, you got to send them to me because, you know, I inspired the design. So I had to be okay with changing up my layout. So after all that rambling on, let's go ahead and take a look at the layout. Now, this is not final. This is not the end all be all. Like, this is how it is. This is how it's going to be type scenario. I'm still going to play around with things over and over here and there. But right now, as it stands, this is what we got. I got a lot of sockets. Anybody knows my channel knows I got a lot of sockets. And I would say probably 90% of what you see is all Snap-on. Everything else is going to be Right Tool, which is my other channel sponsor. Or there's a little bit of Mac, and that's pretty much it. Snap-on, Mac, and Right Tool. And oh, and my SK set here. Can't leave SK out. But I got a lot of sockets, and then I have a whole 3/4 inch drive proto set there with the breaker bar, the ratchet, the extensions, the swivels, all the sockets, all that good stuff that I can't even fit in here. I am actually, in fact, looking for a new box, but I haven't got to that point yet. I'm looking for a new box, not like I'm gonna get rid of this box. I'm just gonna add on to it. The idea is that we would essentially get another box like that and add it over here, and then we would have another workstation. So that's what I'm looking at, but these things have gone up in cost. You know, I went to Home Depot, they were like $1,500 or $1,600 bucks, and I'm like, nah, that ain't happening, Jack. So I'm looking for a used one. But anyway, this is the layout. So you can see I got the SAE on this side here. I've got the metric on that side there. I got my half, I got my 3/8, got my quarter. Over here, I got my half, 3/8, and quarter. Everything is pretty much all Snap-on, all right tool, SK, not SK, but Mac, if it is any Mac in there. Same thing over here with the SAE set as well. I've been working really hard to get this all set up. In the front here, I've got more sockets that are housed in the front. All my Snap-on hex sockets. These are Mac back here in the back. And then these are like extra sockets. I call them auxiliary sockets because they're not really a set, but they don't really go anywhere per se, but they're just extras. And then we have all of our various Torx bits, and these are just extra Torx bits. I mean, I've actually got sets of stuff. I've got, oops, almost knocked over my cat's water in there. I've got my Capri tools, which is one of my favorite tool brands. I've got some Nico or Nyko stuff in there as well. I got some CTA tools as well. But yeah, so I got my triple squares. Just picked these triple squares up like not too long ago. This is a set here. These are Cassaman, a regular Amazon brand, but they are chrome moly. They are shorter in stature, like they're like considered stubbies, I guess, if you will. But it's chrome moly. And my opinion is chrome moly is chrome moly. So I don't really care if it's Gear Wrench or Capri or Tekton or Cassaman, whatever the case may be. Chrome moly is chrome moly. It's all out of the same steel, and I don't necessarily see them changing the heat treating process that much on a standardized, what I would term as a commodity-based alloy. So chrome moly is chrome moly. Probably all buying it from the same mill. So Torx and hex, triple squares, magnetic impact sockets there, Snap-on. More Torx. These are hex, these long or mid-length Torx here. My swivels, and my other Ulsa Tools socket tray. This is the actual socket tray. This is a Ulsa Tools one that they first sent me a long time ago. It's got all my various sockets. I always used to joke around that I could almost probably work on most cars, with doing most basic level mechanic work, working off this tray alone. There's just a good variety of stuff here on it. In the back here, we've got SAE swivels, metric swivels, Right Tools, Snap-on, and Mac. Just all those three brands in the back. And then I got my Lyle tap sockets, and then a couple more random 1/4" drive sockets there. Another thing I picked up here recently, I think I did a video on it, is this set of Sunex shallow or stubby hex sockets as well. And I'll tell you why. You may be already thinking like, dude, why do you have so many hex sockets? And I'll explain to you why I do here in a second. There's a reason why, and it's not like anything major. It's just like something how you work on stuff over time and you realize what you need and you don't have, and you have to get it. That's kind of like where I'm at. Got my Right Tool 1/2" drive, 12-point sockets here. A random set of Snap-on 12-point 1/4" drives there. And this is the coolest thing I got, and I'll kind of let this segue into why I have so many hex sockets. So I bought this set here, and they're a stubby, let's go over here, stubby metric set. Hopefully that's clear enough. 3 to 10. Okay, CTA manufacturing, made in Taiwan. And they probably are chrome vanadium or something like that. I don't even know what material they are. They're not chrome moly because they're not impact rated. But what's cool about these here is they're stubby for one. And number two, I think I got one over here. Where is it at? This big boy right here. When you get out in the country, you start talking with a little bit of an accent, kind of get your accent on. Let me see here. What side is it? This side here. So you can put a 12 millimeter, they're all 12 millimeter hex. And so now you can put these in any type of wrench, whether it be a flex head wrench or a fixed head wrench or an offset wrench, and you can get, you're going to be smaller than any ratchet. Like, there's not a ratchet that you can find that's going to be that thin profile that's going to allow you to utilize these sockets in that manner. So that's why I bought those. And the reason why is because of that guy there. So if you guys remember me working on this bike, to do anything with the computer system and programming, which I do all my programming on this bike, I have it's got a power, what is it called? Power commander. It's got a power commander set up on it. And in order to get to all the wiring and all the box, everything is underneath the seat. So you have to go up under here, and you have to get a bunch of hex bolts off in order to get to the computer ECU. So I was trying to make it work with these guys here, and then I bought these Nico ones, which kind of go like in between the seat cushion, and that works okay, but it's still kind of a pain in the butt to do it. So then I picked up this set here, which like maybe a week or so ago, and I'm like, yeah, these will do it. I think it's like an 8mm hex. So I figure I would use those, and I would incorporate those with the use of, if I can find it, my gear wrench ratcheting wrenches that I picked up, which you guys probably like, oh my god, you got gear wrench? Yeah, they were a good price, and I just jumped on them. But I wanted these because of the flex head feature. I had a set of Capri, and I had a set of Matco, and they're Taiwan as well. So you trading one Taiwan for another Taiwan, in my opinion. But the flex head, I miss having flex head ratchet or wrenches, so I picked those sets up there, both metric and SAE. Then I can incorporate that flex head wrench with the appropriate size hex, and I'm good to go. Cool thing about these is that it's got a ball detent there, as you guys can see, and that ball detent is going to fit up into the ratchet or the wrench, and it's going to hold tight. So that's the cool thing. But this set was like $26 or something like that off of Amazon. Part number is 5057. I think the other one is 5059 for the SAE. And I'm already going to be ordering that, but I'm actually really excited. Tools excite me anyway, but I was really happy to get those because working on that bike was a bit of a problem. So let's see here. So we talked about those there. Then I found these first, and then I found these last. So that's why I ended up getting two of them. And then the triple squares, I think the triple squares were like super cheap. I think I paid like $12 or something. Like, it was something stupid low. And I was like up doing late night Amazon shopping just to kind of do it. You know how that works. And I picked those up for like, I think it was like less than $10. So, if it gets you out of a jam and it breaks after it's done, who cares, right? I am going to be doing a video on that subject. I put out a post, and I like the feedback I got. I think it was something like, how do I title it? I said something to the effect like, does like the high end, the brand name impact sockets, does it matter to have the high end stuff? And 60% of you guys said no, it didn't, and the balance or whatever said it did. And we're going to talk about that subject this weekend. I'm going to do another video where we explore my opinion on that subject. I'm not going to tell you guys where I fall in line with that. You may think because you're like, dude, if you get all that Snap-on sockets in here, clearly you're going to be team high-end socket. But you'll see. I got an interesting approach to that from a metallurgical background perspective, and we'll kind of see what you guys think. I've already touched on it in the past, but we're going to revisit it because I think it's something that should be revisited and talk about it. So, but yeah, so far I am very impressed with these socket trays. I guess I'll tell you real quick before we end this video. They take up a nice sizable chunk. So I would say if you are someone who does not have at least I don't know, a 30-inch or a 20-some inch depth, meaning front to back drawer to put these in, and like 54 inches or more to fit these in, they're not going to work for you. It's just going to eat up too much space. Now, maybe it'll work if you don't have quite as many sockets as I do, but someone who has a lot of sockets, and most people who like wrenching typically have a lot of sockets, you're probably going to be faced with a little bit of a problem trying to get all these squeezed in there. Just my opinion. Just how I see it, because they take up a good footprint. They are really strong. So the magnets are really good. Like, that's not moving, and that's not because, I mean, I can close the whole drawer, move the whole drawer just by pushing on the tray, and that's not captured or nothing like that in there that's preventing it from moving. The magnets are really that strong. Plastic construction. I mean, they PTFE polytetrafluoroethylene material there with the magnetic base. I mean, they do great. I already took the trays and showed you guys by turning it upside down. It holds your sockets, even 1/2-inch drive sockets. It holds it very well. You're not going to be dropping stuff. You can take them out. You can mount them to the side of your box. I mean, the same nomenclature applies as it did with the original design, which is what I have here. You can just take it, throw it on the side of your box, and Bob's your uncle. I mean, and it'll stay there. It ain't gonna fall off. It ain't gonna slide down over time. It doesn't get sweaty when it gets hot. It doesn't lose magnetism when it gets cold. They just perform. I mean, look at that. I'm just gonna leave it there because I'm not even gonna fight with it. It's too cold to be fighting with it. So yeah. So I am very pleased with them. The box needed a change. It needed an update. And you may be asking, what are you gonna do with the other sockets? So I'm gonna do some more rearranging. These are they're not gonna sit out in my shop, although it's not wet or humid or nothing like that out there. They're probably gonna get stored somewhere else, like maybe in my cart over there, or maybe I'll find a place for them in this box here. But for the most part, I'm fine with it. Let's see here. What else I got to cover before I hop off here? I got some new tools in there, just a couple little cases of things that are not like high end. I did find a ratchet air ratchet that I forgot I owned, but apparently I have a Mac 1/4-inch drive Mac air ratchet. I don't know. I found it when we were moving, so at some point in time I must have gotten that from an auction or something. So, but it's on falling. My shop cat, his water jug. Okay. Well, that is it. I think I'm going to end this video now. So it's gotten boring now. So hope you guys like it. Stuff is still stacked. I mean, you guys can see that. I still got things that are stacked. You know, that's going to happen. I mean, until I get another box where I can comfortably stretch my legs, so to speak, it's going to be stacked. And, I'm just blessed to have it. So, all right, guys, I will catch you on the next video. This one here is getting ready to get posted. All right. Peace.